Hello and welcome to the AI Lab by Optas.ai. This is episode 5, and today we're talking about DALL, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion, which image generator you should choose, and what you need to know before getting started. With so many AI image tools out there, it can be hard to know which one is right for you. Some are better for quick creative results, some give you more control, and some are better suited for different kinds of users and projects. In this episode, we'll break down the differences in a simple way so you can better understand what each tool offers and which one may fit your needs best. Let's get into it.
Imagine spending thousands of dollars running this massive glossy marketing campaign, right? You've got this stunning AI-generated hero image, and then bam, you get hit with a devastating cease and desist letter.
Oh yeah, the absolute worst nightmare for a brand.
Exactly. And why did it happen? Because someone else secretly owns the copyright to the specific visual style you used.
Right.
And you had absolutely no idea. It was just baked right into the software you were using. So welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are really cutting through the overwhelming hype of AI image generation here in 2026 to figure out exactly what is going on under the hood.
In that legal minefield you just mentioned, I mean, it is incredibly common now. It's actually just one of the main reasons why understanding these tools is so critical for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
So today we are looking at a comprehensive comparison guide, tackling the 3 absolute titans of this space. We're talking DALL 3, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion.
The big 3.
The big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are a digital marketer or a developer, or even just someone trying to keep their skills sharp, the challenge isn't finding a capable AI anymore. Like, the technology has matured past that.
Right, they all kind of work now.
Exactly. The real challenge is finding the right one for your specific workflow, your technical comfort zone, and obviously your budget.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Because choosing an AI image generator right now is sort of like, it's like walking into a massive futuristic hardware store.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Right. You don't just walk up to the counter and ask the clerk for a tool. You need to know, are you hanging a picture frame? Are you painting a masterpiece? Or are you, building an entire house from scratch?
That is a perfect way to frame it.
Right.
Because in just a few short years, this tech has transitioned from a quirky, unpredictable experiment into, highly specialized creative infrastructure.
Yeah.
The landscape is completely fractured into distinct philosophies. So the choice you made today really hinges on output quality, ease of use, pricing, commercial rights,
and how much control you actually need, right?
Exactly. The level of granular control.
But here's where it gets really interesting to me, though. Are these tools actually fundamentally different, or, are we just splitting hairs over different user interfaces?
What do you mean?
Are we just looking at 3 different colored wrappers on the exact same piece of candy? Is it all just the same math?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, the differences are profound and structural. It goes way beyond just the buttons you click on the screen.
Really? So the brains are different?
Completely. The underlying architecture, like how the model was trained and how it actually processes your text into visual data, shapes literally everything. It dictates who ultimately controls the data, how much the compute power costs, and frankly, the literal aesthetic of the final output.
So the math actually decides the art style?
Yeah. The underlying math determines whether your image looks like, say, a flat vector illustration, or a grainy 35mm cinematic still, or a highly controlled, safe product mockup.
Okay, wow. So let's start with the tool where the interface is basically invisible, which honestly feels like magic to most people. Let's talk about DALL 3.
Right. So DALL is OpenAI's flagship text-to-image model. And the defining feature here is its deep, seamless integration directly into ChatGPT.
Right, you don't even have to leave the chat window.
Exactly. There's no new platform to learn, no complicated servers, no weird parameters. You simply describe what you want in everyday conversational language.
So mechanically, what's actually happening there? Because, I remember earlier versions of AI required us to learn prompt engineering, which basically felt like speaking in broken computer code.
Oh yeah, highly detailed, trending on ArtStation, 4K, all that stuff.
Yes, exactly that. So we don't need that anymore.
Not with DALL.
Yeah.
The integration with GPT-4 acts as a brilliant translator. So when you type a simple request, ChatGPT actually rewrites and expands your prompt behind the scenes.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was doing that in the background.
Yeah, it turns your basic sentence into the highly descriptive, detailed language that the image model actually needs to generate a great result. That creates what we call incredibly high prompt adherence.
Meaning it actually makes what I asked for?
Yes. It makes exactly what you asked for without dropping half of your instructions. And it's also remarkably good at rendering actual text inside the image.
Oh, right. Like generating a neon sign that correctly spells a word, which honestly used to be a massive hurdle. It used to just be alien gibberish.
Exactly. It handles text beautifully now.
Okay, so that makes DALL-E sound like the friendly sous chef who, perfectly follows your recipe to the letter. You ask for a standard chocolate cake, you get a flawless chocolate cake.
That's a great way to look at it.
But I imagine that same sous chef completely refuses to let you throw in your own secret spices if you want to experiment. Like it's their way or the highway.
You've hit on the exact major trade-off there. I mean, DALL-E is built for safety, consistency, and mass usability.
Right.
It has strict, built-in safety filters. That makes it incredibly reliable for brands who need to guarantee their outputs are safe for work. Very professional.
Nobody wants a PR disaster because the AI generated something inappropriate for a slide deck.
Precisely. But because of those guardrails, you lose granular control. It's generally not the tool you want for hyper-stylized, purely artistic or, moody, photorealistic outputs.
It won't look like a high-end magazine spread.
No. Its aesthetic leans heavily toward clean, bright, and illustrative. Sort of that safe corporate look.
Okay, so who is this actually best for then?
Honestly, it's the ultimate entry point. Beginners, non-designers, content marketers who just need quick visuals for a blog post, or business users throwing together a presentation.
Just friction-free generation.
Exactly. But it's also highly utilized by developers. OpenAI offers a very clean API.
Wait, let's clarify that for a second. When you say developers use the API, you mean they are plugging DALL-E's brain directly into their own apps?
Yeah, exactly that.
Like maybe a real estate app that automatically generates staging photos based on the text descriptions of an empty room.
That's a perfect example. They can automate the entire generation process in the background. Your users wouldn't even know it's daily.
That's powerful. And what about the cost?
For everyday users, it's tied to your ChatGPT subscription. So you're looking at ChatGPT Plus, which is around 28 Canadian dollars a month, or the Pro tier at around $280 a month.
Okay. And for the developers?
For devs using that API, it runs roughly 4 to 8 cents in US dollars per image, depending on the resolution you request.
Got it. Okay, so if DALL-E restricts your secret spices and leans toward that clean corporate look, what if I'm an art director?
Okay.
What if I need an image that looks like, I don't know, a high fashion editorial shoot taken on a rainy neon street?
Yeah.
DALL-E won't let me get that granular, so where do the obsessive creatives go?
They go to Midjourney. It is widely considered the creative powerhouse of the industry. It operates independently, original launching entirely within Discord, though, they do have a standalone web app now.
Right, which I know a lot of people were begging for.
Oh, absolutely. The current major iteration, version 6, brought staggering improvements to realism. But its true reputation is built on its exceptionally detailed, rich lighting. It has a distinctly painterly or cinematic quality.
So this is really for the visual heavy hitters, the graphic designers, illustrators, game developers building out concept art.
Totally. If visual quality and artistic flair are your absolute top priorities, Midjourney is unmatched. Its outputs are consistently polished and, honestly, portfolio ready right out of the gate.
Wow.
And unlike DALL-E, Midjourney gives you deep parameter control. Without needing to write actual code, you can append little tags to your prompt to tweak aspect ratios, adjust the level of stylization, or, my personal favorite, introduce chaos.
Hold on, chaos? What does that actually do under the hood?
It's a fascinating mechanic. So when an AI generates an image, it starts with a field of visual, static, literal noise and gradually refines it into a recognizable picture based on your text.
Like tuning an old television to a dead channel.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
So when you increase the chaos parameter in Midjourney, you are telling the model to introduce more statistical noise early in that generation process.
Okay, and what does that look like for the user?
The result is that it forces the AI to explore much wilder, more varied, and unconventional interpretations of your prompt. It's basically a built-in brainstorming feature for when you feel stuck.
That is incredible. But, the user experience has always fascinated me, especially with its Discord roots.
The Discord setup is unique.
Because you're often working in these public server rooms, right? You can literally see everyone else's prompts scrolling by in real time.
Yes, you can.
So does that make Midjourney the ultimate collaborative art school or just a giant copying machine?
Honestly, it creates a really highly complex dynamic. On one hand, it is an incredible educational resource. You can see a stunning image, study the exact wording the creator used to achieve that specific lighting, and learn incredibly rapidly.
Because the prompt is right there attached to the image.
Right. But because everyone is borrowing from everyone else, specific aesthetic trends can become homogenized very quickly.
Ah, I see. Everything starts looking like a Midjourney image.
Exactly. Plus, that Discord interface can be deeply counterintuitive and overwhelming for newcomers. I mean, some people just want to make a picture, not join a busy chat room.
Yeah, Discord can be a lot. What about the business side of Midjourney? Is it built for automation like DALL-E's API?
It is not. There is no official API for programmatic control.
None at all.
None. If you want to automate bulk workflows, Midjourney actively fights you on it. It's really designed for manual artisanal generation.
Okay, good to know. And the pricing?
It no longer offers a free tier as of 2026. It operates on a subscription model ranging from a basic plan around 14 Canadian dollars a month up to a mega plan around $140 a month for heavy professional use.
You know, if you're a freelancer listening to this, that $140 a month might sound steep initially,
Sure.
but if Midjourney replaces 4 hours of hunting through stock photo websites every single week, it pays for itself almost instantly.
That is exactly how power users justify the cost. The return on investment for high-end creative work is massive. You're replacing stock subscriptions, concept art commissions, it adds up.
Still, Midjourney sounds like renting time in a fancy, closed-off studio.
That's a fair comparison.
What if I want to own the studio myself? What if I want absolute control over everything, down to the last pixel? That means going open source, right?
Which brings us to Stable Diffusion.
The beast.
The beast, yes. This represents a fundamentally different philosophy in the AI landscape. Developed by Stability AI and supported by this massive community, Stable Diffusion isn't a closed, hosted product like DALL-E or Midjourney. It is an open source model that you can literally download and run locally on your own hardware.
So no monthly payments, no subscriptions.
Zero subscription fees.
But I imagine that means you're the one providing the horsepower. I keep seeing the term VRAM thrown around in the sources regarding Stable Diffusion. Like, why does a regular laptop suddenly choke and die when trying to run this thing?
It all comes down to how AI processes memory. VRAM stands for Video Random Access Memory. It's the memory built directly into your graphics card.
Okay.
Think of VRAM like the physical disk space in front of you.
Okay, I'm picturing a desk.
An AI model contains billions of parameters,
All right.
essentially a massive stack of thick reference books. To render an image, the computer needs to hold all those books open on the desk at the exact same time.
Oh, wow.
Right, so if you don't have enough VRAM, typically you need at least 6 to 8 gigabytes on a modern NVIDIA GPU or a capable Apple Silicon Mac. Your desk is simply too small. The books fall off and the process crashes.
So it's like being given a gorgeous vintage car for free. No monthly lease payments, but you better be prepared to get your hands dirty in the garage. When it breaks down, you can't just call customer service. You are the mechanic going into Reddit forums figuring out why your VRAM is bottlenecking.
That is the harsh reality of the open source learning curve. You have to navigate these complex user interfaces like Automatic 1111 or Comfy UI, manage software dependencies, and constantly tweak settings.
It sounds exhausting.
It can be. And out of the box, the raw images often look less polished than what Midjourney just spits out effortlessly.
Really? So why do people use it?
Because the trade-off is ultimate freedom and zero ongoing per image costs. If you were a business generating, say, 10,000 images a day, paying DALL-E 4 cents an image would bankrupt you.
Oh, good point. $400 a day.
Exactly. Running Stable Diffusion locally costs nothing but electricity. And beyond the cost, the customization is insane.
Right. The sources talk a lot about LoRa's, which is LORA. What are they, mechanically speaking?
So, LoRa stands for Low Rank Adaptation. Imagine you want your AI to exclusively draw images in the style of 1990s Japanese anime. Or maybe you want it to consistently feature your company's specific brand mascot in every image.
Okay, yeah, that's a huge use case for brands.
Right. But retraining the entire multi-billion parameter brain of Stable Diffusion from scratch to learn that one character would take massive supercomputers and millions of dollars.
Nobody has time or money for that.
No one. So LoRa is like downloading a tiny digital muscle memory file. It neatly injects just enough specific knowledge into the model to teach it one new trick without altering the entire brain.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's revolutionary. Platforms like Civitai host tens of thousands of these community-made files. You just download them and plug them in.
Okay, let's ground this all in reality by putting these three titans head-to-head in some everyday scenarios.
Let's do it.
Say I'm a social media manager. It's 4:50 p.m. on a Friday. My boss tells me we need a graphic for a surprise flash sale. I don't have time to mess with Discord servers or troubleshoot my VRAM. Who wins?
DALL-E3, without a doubt. The friction is practically zero. You open ChatGPT, you type, make a bright professional promo graphic for a 20% off summer sale, and you have a usable brand-safe asset in 15 seconds.
Done and dusted. Okay, different scenario. I'm an indie game developer. I'm pitching a dark, atmospheric sci-fi game to investors, and I need concept art that absolutely blows them away with mood, lighting, and cinematic flair.
You open Midjourney. You want that gritty realism and the artistic interpretation that Midjourney excels at. You can feed it specific aspect ratios for your presentation slides and use the stylized parameters to ensure the lighting looks like it was shot on anamorphic lenses.
Makes sense. Okay, final scenario. What if I'm a startup founder trying to save some cash and I want one of these AIs to just spit out my final trademarkable production-ready company logo?
You're going to hit a frustrating technical wall with all three of them, honestly.
Wait, really? All three?
Yeah. They are fantastic for brainstorming logo concepts, but they are terrible for final production.
But why? If Midjourney can make a photorealistic cinematic space battle, why can't it make a simple corporate logo?
Because of the underlying math. These AI tools generate what we call raster images, which are essentially mosaics made of tiny, fixed pixels.
Okay.
A professional production-ready logo needs to be a vector file. Vectors don't use pixels. They use mathematical equations to draw lines and shapes.
Oh, right, so they can scale.
Yes. That means a vector logo can be scaled up to the size of a highway billboard without ever losing sharpness. If you blow up an AI's pixel mosaic, it just turns into a blurry, unusable mess.
So you still have to take the AI's idea and rebuild it manually in a vector tool like Illustrator.
Exactly. They're expensive, highly capable brainstorming buddies for graphic designers, not replacements.
That's a crucial distinction. And speaking of business use cases, whether I'm brainstorming a logo or generating 1,000 product mockups, eventually we have to talk about the lawyers.
Yes, the legal side.
Who actually owns these pixels?
Commercial use rights are the most crucial and honestly the most overlooked aspect of AI image generation. With DALL and Midjourney, the waters are relatively clear.
Relatively.
As long as you are on one of their paid subscription plans, their terms of service generally grant you ownership of the generated images and permit full commercial use. You always have to verify the current terms, of course, because they do update them constantly.
Naturally. But I'm guessing Stable Diffusion is where that legal minefield we talked about at the very beginning really opens up?
Oh, it is. It's a completely different beast. The base model of Stable Diffusion operates under the Creative ML OpenRel license.
Which means what?
It does allow commercial use, provided you follow certain ethical conditions.
Yeah.
But remember those thousands of custom LoRa's and community models we just discussed?
The muscle memory files on sites like Civitai.
Exactly. When you step into the open source Wild West, the legal responsibility shifts entirely onto your shoulders.
Okay, walk me through a concrete example of how someone actually messes this up in the real world. Because it sounds like it could be an easy mistake to make.
It's terrifyingly easy. Yeah. Let's say you run a boutique bakery. You want a really cool stylized ad campaign. So you go into Civitai and find a LoRa model called, Classic Animation Magic.
Sounds innocent enough?
Right. And it was fine-tuned to replicate the exact artistic style of 1990s Disney movies.
Oh boy.
You download it, you generate your bakery ads, and you launch a commercial campaign. You didn't realize that the community user who created that LoRa trained it entirely on copyrighted Disney stills.
And Disney does not mess around.
No, they don't. And that user specifically attached a strict non-commercial use-only license to the file on Civitai.
Wow.
Yeah, you have just broadcasted copyright infringement to the world, and your bakery is now fully exposed to litigation.
That is terrifying. It's so easy to just click download on a cool style without reading the fine print on the specific file.
Most people just click download and don't read anything.
It really reinforces that you have to do your due diligence if you're using open source tools for profit.
It requires extreme vigilance.
So, looking at all the source material and everything we've unpacked today, the ultimate conclusion seems to be that there is no single best tool overall, but there is a best setup for your specific reality.
That is the ultimate takeaway. You leverage DALL-E3 for friction-free speed, prompt accuracy, and API integration.
Right.
You invest in Midjourney when your priority is uncompromising, stunning visual quality and artistic control. And you commit to Stable Diffusion when you demand ultimate local privacy, deep customization through LoRa's, and zero per image costs for massive volume.
But the most fascinating detail from the research is how top professionals are actually working in 2026. They aren't pledging allegiance to just one AI, they're using them as a pipeline.
A pipeline, exactly.
Like, they might use Midjourney to generate the stunning hero shot for a campaign,
Yeah.
then they drop that image into Stable Diffusion to churn out 1,000 different localized variations for different markets.
Yeah.
And they keep DALL-E open in another tab for quick, rapid-fire brainstorming during a client meeting. So the secret isn't picking the winning tool, it's learning how to master the handoff between them.
That's beautifully put.
They aren't individual competitors anymore. Together, they basically form an entire creative department.
Framing it as an image pipeline is absolutely the most professional, future-proof way to approach this technology. You use the right tool for the right stage of the creative process.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Remember, if you're listening, the best AI image generator isn't the one with the most hype or the most impressive specs on paper. It's the one that seamlessly fits the way you actually work.
Perfectly said. And as we close out, I want to leave you with a larger, slightly unsettling philosophical thought to mull over.
Okay, lay it on us.
We've talked extensively today about how incredible these models are at generating photorealistic art. But right now, users across the globe are downloading millions of these AI-generated images and feeding them right back into the system to train new, custom AI models.
Oh, like an echo chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what happens to our collective visual culture in a few short years when the AI is no longer learning from human art, but is primarily learning from its own synthesized hallucinations?
Wow. That is something to think about. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to episode 5 of the AI Lab. We hope this episode helped you better understand the differences between DALL-E, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion, and gave you a clearer sense of which image generator might be right for you. Please subscribe for more, and we invite you to join our community of learners by signing up to receive your free resource guide. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to reach out at contact@optus.ai. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of the AI Lab.